So, did the last game bring a turn in the tide? West Ham were rock bottom of the table with morale to match before their stunning late blitz at Forest, while Spurs have been revelling in the fast start of their latest era saw their euphoria tempered by Bournemouth. But was either performance a sign of things to come? Now they meet, two clubs separated by just 6 miles, and whilst the rivalry and antipathy is much more marked from one side than the other, it seldom disappoints. A match-up with a special edge. And whilst there's a marked difference in the perception of both their prospects and starts, they could end the night level on points.
Well, I don't think Thomas Frank too happy with those UEFA regulations, but they have to adhere to them, and it's a painful decision to have to make as a manager.
Walker-Peters continuing his run ahead of Bowen. He's played in Fernandez. Paquetá turning and firing just wide. Best move of the game so far. I think Vicario was struggling there if that had been on target.
Well, it should be a goal. Lovely flowing movement. Look at the running off the ball. Good spot from Bowen to see Fernandez. Lovely little slip pass. Good turn. He should just hit it there for me. Paquetá.
Spurs loading the 6-yard box to make it difficult, and it's in again. Now the ref has disallowed it. Romero wheeling away, convinced that he'd scored. But Jarrod Gillett gave himself a little bit of thinking time and has given a free kick to West Ham. John Brooks, the VAR, having a look at what has happened to ratify the decision.
Well, it's an interesting decision. I'm not sure there's much that goes on there at all. OK, Van der Ven is jammed in between. Walker-Peters is in and around it, but Romero does nothing wrong there for me.
West Ham struggling to get out of their own half at the moment, but might be able to do something constructive here. Somerville and Fernandez. Now Walker-Peters. Now get to their feet as Bowen plays it in. Oh, it's taken a touch. And a real lack of communication at the back between Van der Ven and Vicario, and Spurs really get lucky. They've conceded 8 goals this season. 4 of them have been from corners. The latest delivery is deeper, and Sarr! Well, that win at Forest suggested that they found the right formula, but now the Hammers' Achilles heel has been brutally exposed again. Not so much a corner turned as another corner conceded. Less than 2 minutes into the second half, and Spurs pressure finally has counted for something.
Well, it's just probability, isn't it? We talked about the set-piece session. It really is how well can you defend a corner? And up to now, they've done it okay, but Sarr is left.
As far as the Hammers are concerned, it's now 5 in 9 goals that they've conceded this season that have come from corners.
Well, I think that strangle of possession that Spurs have had has been crucial.
Here's Fernandez. Bowen. Could have been 1-1 almost straight away. Awkward one for Vicario. Had to try and scramble it clear.
What's the way it bounces in front of him here, Vicario. Bowen has to delay the shot. He kind of digs it out from underneath him. Not the cleanest strike he would have wanted.
That was a nasty challenge.
Yeah.
No surprise that a red card is brandished. Ball just got away from Souček, and he went in with studs raised to try and win it back. No malice, I think, the challenge. But there doesn't have to be. That's the danger that has been done. Damage there on the leg of Joao Palhinha.
I mean, he's not shy of that kind of tackle himself, is he, Palhinha? He's put in a few of those over the years, but West Ham, who had a very steady first half, very resilient first half.
Bergwijn, 2-0. One long ball forward, and the Swede runs onto it. 2 minutes to forget for West Ham United, and delight for those travelling Spurs fans. Souček giving the free kick away, getting himself sent off, and from the resulting free kick, it took Spurs just 9 seconds to make the most of the numerical advantage that they have. Bergwijn dropped his shoulder, and he's able to create a chance for Mickey van der Ven. And West Ham, who were well beaten here on home turf in their last London derby, are staring down the barrel of another home humiliation now.
Well, it's starting to get a little bit serious for West Ham now. They've got to be careful it doesn't all completely collapse.
Trying his luck. Vicario's handling had to be good there because Callum Wilson was lurking with some real intent. Porro. Sarr. Who's headed from a corner, started things off for Spurs. Porro's delivery, good save. And then a second one was even better from Hermansen. Actually wouldn't have counted because the offside flag's up against Johnson. It was fine goalkeeping.
Well, great piece of action at the end of this game from a West Ham player who's always liable to be the goalkeeper because they've just had nothing else. But what a good save this is. Quick, down to the left. That's some reaction. I find it interesting picking his team for Tuesday night against Villarreal. There's been some good performances out there and players really jostling for position in the team, which is exactly what you want as a manager.
For Graham Potter and his men in claret and blue, well beaten here in the London derby by Chelsea in August, and September sees Spurs come here and win very comfortably indeed. 3 goals in a 17-minute spell early in the second half, sandwiched around Thomas Souček's red card, which really changed the game. Sarr had already scored before that. Bergwijn scored just after it. Van der Ven added a third after the Swedes set him up. And Spurs are in the top 3, whilst their hosts are in the bottom 3. It's finished West Ham 0, Spurs 3.